Well, joining us now to talk about the candidates and the caucuses, Dr. Hu-Chin Liu from the University of Nebraska, Omaha. Thanks for being here with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So we know that Iowa really enjoys hosting the caucus and the history of this all. And for candidates, it's really a chance to sort of set your momentum, get it either going in place or making a statement. Is that what it's all about tonight?
Yeah, that's a huge part of what it's about. In terms of the count of delegates, Iowa doesn't have all that many delegates to offer, so the raw result is less important than the message the results send, as well as how it sets up the candidates for future races, starting with New Hampshire and South Carolina.
Yeah, so this may be a silly question then. I mean, if it's not going to be in the big picture that have that much of an impact, why even have it? Why put so much emphasis on this?
Well, if you ask the average Iowa caucus goer, you'll hear plenty of reasons why they just should be among America's wine tasters for presidential aspirants. For one thing, it signals which candidates have the most enthusiastic supporters. And I might add, these supporters are not necessarily representative of the nation in political beliefs and other attitudes, or even among the Republican Party. But the Iowa caucuses have long been a strong an important stop, a tradition on the campaign trail that allows candidates to directly engage with voters many a time and to really win their support. Yeah.
And the night is really about Republicans because of the change in the Democratic Party this year.
Right. And Iowans are less than happy about Democrats' decision this year around to sort of skip them over and start with South Carolina instead. Mm-hmm. So yeah, indeed, you're right. Democrats are doing sort of party running business
Paperwork,
that very few
sure.
people pay any attention to.
Sure.
Yeah.
And weather, we've talked about it all night. We've talked about it for a long time. Weather is the big X factor.
Yeah.
Is this a time when you could say, hey, maybe move away from the caucus procedure, or is caucus really getting back to that old-fashioned way?
Well, again, the Iowa caucus goers in the Iowa Republican Party won't let you do that so easily. But it does beg the question of, what kinds of voters are more likely to turn out on a night like this throughout Iowa. It's cold, meaning that the voters that are likely to go to caucuses are the ones that are particularly enthusiastic in their support for the candidates. And that probably will favor Donald Trump over his challengers more likely than not, because Trump has these loyal, enthusiastic supporters in networked communities that all go together, and very few things will stop them.
We look at voter apathy, too, in traditional primary elections, and we're lucky if we get 20%. Does this just say that people aren't paying attention, they don't care?
Yes, many people don't pay attention, don't care for all the right reasons. We really can't blame voters for choosing to sit contests out, especially such an early primary race, early on in the campaign season. So yeah, in other cases that means that X factors like the inclement weather will deter voters from participating who would otherwise participate.
Sure.
Looking down the road, landscape of this may all change dramatically because you have Super Tuesday.
Yeah.
I mean, how important is that date compared?
Super Tuesday is a big day in terms of the count of delegates to be delivered by all the dozen states that participate. I think Super Tuesday is especially important if the early races, Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina, do not fully produce a clear winner. Okay. I think Super Tuesday will have more of a real decision to make if there is no clear winner. On the other hand, say if Donald Trump wins commandingly in Iowa and goes on to wrap up this thing pretty much for real in New Hampshire and South Carolina, we may expect Super Tuesday to be a mere affirmation of Trump's commanding lead, not too different from 2016, 2020.
Iowa starts it off, though. All right. Stick with us because we're going to ask you some more questions in a little bit. Thanks, Dr. Liu.